Hello, welcome to class this month, Around the Clock. So around the clock is the exercise that Joseph Wise would say if you had no time, if you could only do one exercise, 1 minute of exercise, then what you would do is around the clock. And it takes about a minute to do. I attempted to do it on this reformer, and I'm going to be honest, not doing that. But you are going to do it after this workout on your own, on the floor, okay? I hope you join us for the mat, one to chair, and Cadillac workouts as well, because all of the classes are here to help you get around the clock in your own way. So we are going to start with 3 springs on. Don't worry, we will do around the clock the exercise without going around on our reformer, just so we're all on the same page in just a moment. But first we must warm up. So heels together, toes apart, and he'll lift those heels up. Make sure that pinky toe is touching the bar. So maybe your big toe is way off like mine, but your pinky toe is touching the bar. There's muscles on that part of your leg that we want to, so we need to have the whole ball of the foot covered. You're going out and in 10 times. Every time your legs straighten, boom, right here, if I lifted your head and chest up, that would be around the clock. All right, so you have this closed chain connection to really feel all the muscles of your legs, inner thighs, outer hips, hamstrings, glutes working. Come all the way in. This is important for around the clock. Lift both feet up simultaneously. Pull the knees and feet together parallel, land back on the bar, out and in. So arches and heels is less like around the clock just because of the position of the legs, but it doesn't mean that you can't get something out of this, because you are learning how do you reach your legs out and keep them connected to your center. How do you bend your knees in from your muscles, not just from the springs closing you? Come all the way in. Lift both feet up at the same time, line onto your heels. Out and in. I promise you that lifting up of both feet, I watch a lot of you do this. I'll say lift both feet, and I'll watch your videos, and one foot goes and the other foot goes. So if you have to watch it, watch them, because I want the feet to lift up at the same time. It's going to help you with your around the clock. Then come all the way in. Pick up both feet. Land on the balls of your feet, push out, and lower and lift your heels. Only lower as much as you can keep those ankles hugging together, those outer hips hugging in. And then keep those heels up for a moment. Hug your outer hips in a little bit more if you can. Squeeze your inner ankle bones together. Feel the whole ball of your foot. Memorize this feeling of those legs reaching out. All those muscles then come in all the way. Teaser on up. Come down to 1 spring, lie down, place those feet back on, press out, lift your head and chest up. This is your around the clock shape. Every time you curl up and send your legs out, you're like this, no matter where you are on the clock, okay? So we're gonna do 100 here. Pump those arms, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Going for 10 cycles of breathing here, because you can see your feet. Look at those ankles. My right ankle loves to roll out, so I have to really work the big toe mound onto the foot bar. Really hug that inner ankle bone in there. Hug both those legs. And then come in all the way. Okay, teaser on up. Go on to 2 springs. And we are going to do a mini version of our overhead. It's not actually a full overhead today. So you're going to take your head rest down just because you are going to lift your hips. I want you to take your arms down to the mat, stand on them, and then try to lift the hips a little bit. That's it. That's the exercise. Lift your arms. Again, press those arms down so you learn how to reach your arms from your back. Once the arms are down, lift your hips straight up and lower. 2 more like that. Press the arms down, lift the hips, and lower. It's a tiny little lift of the hips that helps us get around the clock and lower. Good. Bend your knees in, bend your elbows in. Now I want you to lift your head and chest. So squeezing those heels together. This is your first time you're sending your legs out, and they won't have a closed chain. So press the arms and legs just straight. Get those arms straight out. Reach those legs because they feel like they're pushing into a foot bar. Open, close the legs. Now bend the knees in. And if it's okay with your back, how much can you bend your knees in? Can you bend them up so much that your pelvis lifts just a little bit? And then bend the elbows and press. We don't normally do that in a coordination, but I want you to use your stomach muscles to lift your pelvis just a little bit before you bend your elbows so that you are ready you have the muscle strength to lift those hips, to rock you around the clock. 2 more. Bend those knees in. Even if it's a millimeter, lift the pelvis. 1 more time. Bend. It's like we're trying to do rolling like a ball from a dead stop. It's basically what we're doing. So speaking of which, come on up to sitting. If this next thing scares you, do it on the floor. Or you can just hold, okay? I want you to grab your ankles, and you're going to do a few rolling like a ball. The carriage will move a little bit. What you don't want is it to move in a different direction than you're moving. So I'm going to rock back, and I'm going to rock up. And it should sound like that. Mine won't sound like that on every rep. Again, we're going to rock back, and we're going to rock up. So you're trying to get to your shoulder blades and get those hips up just a little bit. Again, rock back and up. We got 1 more time. Rock back and up. Now, roll back. Don't rock back up, just roll back. Reach your arms and legs out. So your arms are down by your side, legs are out. This is your around the clock. Bend those knees and lift those hips and rock up. Roll back. Send your arms and legs out for around the clock, but just doing 12 to 1. Bend everything in and lift your hips to help you come up. 1 more time. And reach. I'm just showing you that you have the strength to lift your hips. And if you have the strength to lift your hips to come up, you have the strength to lift your hips and spin them to the side. Cool. Drop a spring off. Let's do a little rowing. Okay. We need to keep those arms connected to our back. We need to have lots of length in our flexion. So here we go. Knuckles together and round it back. Stay round, open the arms, reach them behind you, head over your knees. Maybe you touch your thumbs, lift your arms up and circle around. If you can hook your thumbs, that's amazing, okay? It is. And of course, someday I would want everyone to get there. But I don't want anyone to do anything funky with their shoulders to make that hook happen, okay? I want you to get there because of equal strength and flexibility. Last one, open the arms, reach them back, dive up and over the legs, touch the thumbs, lift them up, circle them around. All right, elbows up, squeeze those legs together, lean back, round up and over, head towards your knees, press the arms back, tap the thumbs, lift and circle. And again, elbows up. Can you reach those legs away? Squeeze them together, lift and round forward. And right here, as you reach those arms back, even though we're sitting up and rounded forward this way, those arms are reaching along your side, just like they will in your around the clock. So feel that strength, feel it reaching into those handles. Let's do one more. Lean it back, lift it up, round over your legs, press those hands down and back, tap, lift and circle. Okay. Now, if you are new to rowing, go up against your shoulder blocks. If you're not, I want you just to be a little bit away. So I really want you to be able to have to hold your center up on your own. That's going to be key for rocking that center around with your around the clock. So hook your thumbs, squeeze your legs together, reach the arms towards the high diagonal, lower the arms, lift them up. You don't have those shoulder blocks if you're sitting a little bit away like I am. So you have to stay tall on your own as you open those arms. And again, reach those arms forward, lower, lift, squeeze those legs tight together. You should still feel those outer hips hugging in just like they will be in your around the clock. And lift. Good. Flex the ankles, round forward. Slide those hands along, lift it up. Get tall and open. Okay, so now can you control the spring? Just like you can control your body, right? Head towards your knees, slide the hands all the way along the mat underneath your heels. Lift your center, lift yourself, and circle. One more time. Head towards those knees, reach, lift. Woo. Okay. So sit cross-legged. Again, easier is up against the shoulder box, harder is a little further away. Index finger and thumb 3 times. Reach. Stand in those feet. Get those outer hips to turn on. You need them to be nice and warm. And then switch the cross, open and close. Nice hug. All right, here we go. So I am going to do